Shalom. If I get everybody like and share the class, let everybody know we live. All right, y'all. We're gonna be getting started momentarily. If I can get y'all like and share the class, let everybody know we live. Baba Gashad, appreciate it. Give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. All right, there we go. Most High Christ. All right, Shalom Israel. You on live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer War holding down the class live from Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, Tuesday through Thursday, we have classes from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a physical school here in Memphis. The address is 3000 Walnut Grove Road. Salakia, 3000 Walnut Grove Road, Suite 215. You brothers and sisters tuning in, if you got family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with the ISUPK. Since 1969, we've been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. In the year 2023, there's nothing more important than for God's chosen people to find out the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is here on this earth. So what we like to do with these classes every night is give brothers and sisters an opportunity to go into this book called the Bible, to gain the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Most High has placed therein for us to receive in these days and times, and return to being the people He called us to be. Why is it important for us to be the people that God called us to be? Because um, that is the only way to fulfill your purpose in this earth. All of us who have lived any amount of life, it can be a very daunting task to get up every day and to face the challenges that we all face as individuals in this world without knowing what is it all for, without knowing that there is a greater purpose for the things that you do day in and day out that get you by. Some of us have children, have significant others. We have mothers, fathers, cousins, aunts, uncles, brothers, and sisters, people who we love and we care about, and people who love and care about us. And with all of that, sometimes you just don't have the energy, you don't have the wherewithal, you don't have the mental capacity to be able to just endure everything that life throws at you. And so, having the added element of knowing your purpose can really go a long way towards making life just a little bit simpler. So tonight the topic we're going to discuss is prepping for the kingdom, right? Prepping for the kingdom. And that word prepping is something that all of us should be familiar with. Most of us should be familiar with. They have TV shows called Doomsday Preppers about these people who preparing for the day that America goes to war, right? The day that World War III pops off, or the day that some foreign enemy attacks America. And these preppers go and they hoard up resources. They go and prepare all types of non-perishable meals and canned foods and all these different, bottled water. They have bunkers that they dig deep underground and invest, 60, 70, $80,000 in preparing for the day that they believe is sure to come, when there's going to be bombs falling and society is going to break down and they're going to have to retreat into their bunkers. Well, life, when you know the truth, requires for you to do a bit of prepping. But it's not a prepping that involves you hoarding resources and stashing bottled water and stashing non-perishable food, but it is a prepping that prepares you for the world that we are promised is to come. And the world that we are promised is to come is a kingdom where our King, Yahushua Mashiach, who the world calls Jesus Christ, comes back to the earth out of the sky, conquers all the enemies who would dare to fight against him and resist his rulership, and establishes an empire and a kingdom that will exist on the earth and will reign forever and ever as far as we are concerned. That is the gospel of the Bible. And when you know the truth and you know that this kingdom is sure to come, that this conquering is sure to occur, there's a message in the scriptures for all of us to not only prepare, but to stay prepared. All right. And that's what tonight's class is going to be about, prepping for the kingdom. If any brothers or sisters have any questions, all you got to do is type them in online. If you're in the classroom with a question, raise your hands. And if we don't have any questions, we're going to go ahead and get right into tonight's topic. All right. So I'm going to give y'all a second to type in any questions. I don't have any questions in the room. We're going to go ahead and get to it. All right. All right, let's get it. We got Matthew. We're going to start at Mark chapter 13, verse 33. All right. Mark chapter 13, verse 33. Again, the topic of tonight's class is prepping for the kingdom of God. All right. All right, here we go. It's Matthew chapter 13. I'm saying Mark. It's Mark 13, not Matthew 13. All right, Ash Bagarumya has a question online. Let's go ahead and get this question from Ash. I said, Salakia, sir, can I get a timeline of the Bible? Did they gather the books all at once, meaning Moses' books of the prophets? And if yes, when? Was the Maccabees part of the Bible Christ was reading from? Okay. To answer Asha's question, the Bible is a compilation of writings that were written at different times, right? So if you want a timeline, there's no timeline for when. Okay, the only timeline we have is when Moses gathered the books together. I mean, not Moses, is when the King James Bible was gathered together, right? We don't have a timeline for when the book of Moses and the book of Isaiah and the book of Ezekiel were compiled to be a Bible. Before that, they were writings that were sacred to the Israelite culture, right? The word Bible, when in a Greek, it comes from the Greek, which is biblios, just means book or books, plural. You understand? In ancient times, it wouldn't have been known as the Bible. It would have been known as the writings of the prophets, the law and the writings of the prophets. Even today, the so-called Jewish man, that's why it's broken. That's why the Old Testament is not just the Old Testament. It was never called that. It was broken down into the law, the history and the chronicles, and the prophets, or the testimonies of the prophets. That's how the Bible was broken down. So when Christ was coming up, he was reading the law. That was the first 5 books. They knew that as the law. That was the books of the law. Then there was the books of the Chronicles, or the books of the Kings and the Chronicles, which is First Kings, which is everything after the first 5 books up until the book of Second Chronicles, right? So Samuel or Judges, man, you got my brain racing. Let me go through these books right quick and give you how it breaks down, right? Salakia. You got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. That's the law. Then you got Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles. That's all the history, the Kings, and the Chronicles. Those were a separate a category of books. Then after that, you have Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther. All of that was the prophets, the testimonies of the prophets, right? That's what Christ grew up reading. The Maccabees was also a part of that. The Maccabees, everything that's in the Apocrypha, 1st and 2nd Esdras, which actually was 3rd and 4th Esdras. Then you had the Maccabees, you had Ecclesiasticus, Wisdom of Solomon. All of those books were together. You understand, Ash? And so Christ did grow up. The Maccabees was a part of the history that Christ was reading, which is why, how do we know the Maccabees was a part of the Bible Christ was reading from? Because they celebrated the Hanukkah. They celebrated the rededication. You understand? So all of that history was a part of the culture of the Israelites. But again, this was not something that was worldwide. This was not something that was celebrated by the world, because Israelite culture was not a worldwide phenomenon. Even today, Israelite culture is not a worldwide phenomenon. The religions of the world claim the Bible, but of course, when you know the truth of the Bible, it has nothing to do with these other cultures, all right? I said, Khan, he said he understands Most High in Christ. But there is no timeline. I can't say, well, the book of Isaiah was added at this time. Everybody understands. Here's what's important about the Bible when you read the Bible and you begin to understand it. It was clear during the time when every prophet lived and had his testimony written down that these words were not for the people of this generation. It's the gift and the blessing and the miracle of the Bible is that the people who lived during the time when these words were recorded knew that these words were not just for this time. They knew that it was important that we maintain and preserve this history and have it passed down. It's very important we never forget who we are. It's very important we never forget where we come from. It's important we don't forget that before the Babylonians came, there was a man named Jeremiah that warned us of everything that God said, so that when we went into that captivity, we could read and realize we effed up, man. We messed up. We should have listened to Jeremiah. We should have listened to the Lord and did what he said to do. Everything recorded in the Bible was written so that in the following generations, when they encountered the same spirit and the same men coming and giving the same message, that they would listen. That's why they recorded the words of Jeremiah and the words of Ezekiel and the words of Isaiah. And it was because of the recording of these men's words, when the time of the Maccabees came, they knew they had to fight. They knew that they could not just lay down and be destroyed. They had to pray and seek the Most High and come back to their God. And the reason why these were recorded was so that today we could read it and realize, man, we've been so far detached from our land. So long have we been removed from our heritage and our culture and our way of life that now we have to get back to it. And it's amazing because it is happening and taking place all over this country. The Most High is with the ISUPK, and he's using these priests and prophets in the school to bring awareness to our people and to draw us back to the Lord. But this is not the only place the Lord is moving to bring our people to remembering who we are. Hear clearly what I'm saying. I'm not saying the Lord is working through anyone outside of the ISUPK in terms of teaching this truth. But there are other ways the Lord is moving on the earth to bring our people back to remembering who we are. There's a lot that's taking place in all of the cultures and all of the lands where the 12 tribes are dwelling today to draw us back to the Lord. It's not a coincidence that there are wars in all the South American countries that are drawing those people that have to come to America. It's not a coincidence that there are, natural disasters and all types of calamities going on in the Caribbean and different parts of the world that are drawing our people to come back to this land called America where they can hear this truth. And the Most High is gathering us together in ways that we don't even know we being gathered together. That mission to Acuna, them brothers down there in Houston did, to go down there to where the tribe of Issachar was and where these other tribes are. There are now, whispers and stories being told of the black, of the dark angels that came from America to feed us under the bridge and to clothe us in our time of trouble. And there are whispers going out through the earth that there's a place where you can come and you can truly seek God. There's a place where you can go and you can learn the truth of everything. There's battles taking place between blacks and natives concerning the original identity of the indigenous people of this land. There's all types of debates and all types of documentaries that are being created that are showing our people we have always been the same. This colorism and this language barrier, it's nonsense. It's what our oppressor designed to separate us. And when our people begin to search for the truth and search for the answers to who they are and where they're from and what their purpose is, Lord allow, they'll find these classes. They'll find you on the street teaching. They'll find you somewhere and ask you a question, and it'll spark a conversation that'll change their lives. But know that it is the Lord that is doing it, man. He's doing an amazing thing in this time that we're living in, and the Bible is a big part of it. All right? So it's very important, man, to understand that, again, the Bible was not written to be a Bible. But each prophet that lived in his time understood the importance of recording these words of God. And that's what we're doing with these classes, man. That's why these classes get recorded and get chronicled. That's why when we go to camp, there's a camp report that's being written. The Lord is preparing for this time to be recorded so that in the future we can reflect back and remember that time before the kingdom? Remember what that was like? Now, we don't know what it was like before the kingdom. No sweat here. Hear these words of the prophet Yohana. Hear these words of the prophet Mahiman and the prophet Mayak. You understand? That is what is going to be said about us in the future. There's going to be a time where we no longer on this earth. We gone. Lord allow, it's a long, long, long time because I want to live to see all my enemies die. I want to live to see the white man destroyed and his empire eradicated off of the earth. I want to live long enough to see the last devil die and become extinct. But there will come a time where I'm going to leave this earth and I'm going to pass on my spirit back to the Most High, and this body going to go in the dirt. And when that time comes, I pray that there's a writing that can be read before the people concerning the works of the prophet Saka Ward. That's a humble desire and prayer that I have every day, that the Lord allow me to endure and remain strong in his spirit so that I can attain the righteous honor of being remembered for the works that I did in his name. That I could be remembered for the words that I spoke to his people from his mouth concerning getting right and staying right, concerning, living long enough to see the kingdom and to walk into it and receive a crown. And that should be a prayer, and it should be every brother's prayer and righteous desire. If the Lord can give me anything, man, let me be one of these brothers. let me deserve that honor. You know what I'm saying? I said it in this class before, man. If I was to leave the earth today, man, the Lord blessed me. I lived a wonderful life. All the cities I've traveled to and the places that I've spoken and the scriptures that he's allowed, that he's given me the wisdom and the knowledge to break down. All the many brothers and sisters who have told me over the years, man, I love your classes, Cap, or you help me out with this or you help me out with that, man. That is a humbling, joyous, wonderful thing. But it only comes from the Lord. It comes from you. Like the Bible says, present yourself a sacrifice unto the Most High. You understand? And that's what we all called to do. But yeah, the Bible, man, when you get to understand that these brothers was writing these words down, not for their time. Nobody was reading the book of Isaiah while Isaiah was alive. Nobody was reading the book of Ezekiel. There was no book of Ezekiel while Ezekiel was still alive. And these brothers' testimonies were compiled and recorded. And after their lives had passed, after they were no longer present to speak to the people, then they wanted to go back and say, man, what was Isaiah saying 20 years ago? Man, what was that? I heard about the brother Ezekiel. Man. I heard Yakazaka Allah was a heavy cat. Like, man, listen, bro, the scribes recorded some of his writings, some of his classes, some of his teachings, some of his speakings. And you go back and you read it and you like, damn, Mark, that's amazing. Man, they should have listened to that brother. And so, yeah, Christ was able to take from that, and that's what formulated his work as a prophet and a priest of the Lord. But let's go ahead and get into the topic. Mark chapter 13, verse 33. Again, the topic is prepping for the kingdom. All right. Preparing for the kingdom. And these are the words of our King Yahushua concerning preparing for the kingdom. All right. All right. This is Mark chapter 13, verse 33. Now, this is important what we're about to read. And I want to explain how it pertains to the topic, right? Prepping is something that you do for insurance. Prepping is something that you do because you want to make sure that when the grocery stores aren't open, when the gasoline station shuts down, when you may not be able to get out of your neighborhood because of the snow or the rain or the impending doom, that you have everything you need to be able to survive, to be able to live, right? Well, we know how to prep for a storm. We know how to prep for a hurricane. We know how to prep for, snow. But how do you prep for a kingdom? How do you prep for something that is spiritual, something that there is no tangible fuel or food or goods that you can store up? How do you prepare for a kingdom? Christ is going to give us the answer right here. So Mark chapter 13, starting at verse 33. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. Right? This is what you got to first do if you're prepping for the kingdom. You have to take heed, watch, and pray. What does it mean to take heed? Be listening, man. To be hearing what's coming from the mouth of God. Be hearing what's coming from the men who stand for the Lord. You got to hear their message, hear what they're saying, what they're telling you to do. You also got to be watching, man. Look at what's going on. Pay attention to the signs of the times. You come into the truth, man. You begin to read this Bible. The Bible will unlock the world that you're living in. I remember when I was young growing up, I believe my grandfather used to say that the Bible is as up to date as yesterday's headlines. You understand? Meaning what? Every day something that's happening on the news, and you're like, damn, that's crazy. It's recorded in the Bible. For anyone that tries to tell you that Bible, oh man, that stuff is back in the day. You don't need that no more, man. That Bible is outdated. You better turn on your TV. You turn on your TV and you see LGBTQ all over the place. You better know you living in Sodom and Gomorrah. You turn on the TV, man. I shared it on Facebook the other day. I watched an interview that broke my heart. And there's an interview with this cat named Wallow. Wallow is a cat who's from Philadelphia. He has a very popular podcast right now. And this brother Wallow did some time in prison. The brother did time in prison that, really scarred the brother, man. I don't know how long he did. I want to say it was about 20 years, right? He did a long time in prison. But the brother has come home and has done a lot of work diligently in trying to really warn brothers, young brothers who out there in the streets, these young entertainers, about the perils of giving your life to the devil or oppressor because of crimes that you're committing. And he's really telling these young brothers that the chances they're taking in the streets and in this entertainment business is not worth your freedom, man. It's not worth losing, years off of your life because you're trying to uphold some image that you was told was worthwhile. And in an interview that I watched, Really, it was an interview on another podcast where these brothers really just let him talk. And this cat talked about jail and prison and how horrible it was. And in one of the parts of it, he told a story about a cat that he was locked up with, man. He said he got a call from the cat one day, and the cat was like, "Yo, man, I'm finally coming home, man." And he said, "Man," he was like, "What, man? You coming home, man?" He was like, he was so excited that he started in his mind thinking of all the things that he was going to do for this brother when he came home, all the ways he was going to celebrate him being back on the streets, taking him to Miami and getting him fresh and taking him to do all the wonderful things that he could now afford because he's rich. And he said, man, I was talking to him like, man, so what happened, man? When you coming home? Like, man, I don't even know, man. They said about maybe 7-8 months. He was like, man, what you mean? You ain't got no date. He was like, nah. He was like, well, what happened in the courts, man? How you know you coming home? He's like, man, I just found out I got cancer. I ain't gonna be in here long, man. I'm gonna be free. And the brother started crying. And watching it, I started crying. Because, goddamn, a brother been in jail for so long that he gets news that he has cancer and he's going to die. And he calls his friend who made it out of prison and shares the good news that, brother, I'm getting out. But his getting out is not the same as Wallow's getting out, because Wallow's getting out was being able to come home and be with his family and to be free. But this brother's getting out was he's going to die. And dying and leaving this earth is better than the life he had living in prison. You better watch that and know that you were in Egypt. You better see that and know that thing you feel in your heart, that pain you feel by seeing something like that and the tears that rolled down my face, I knew that this is Egypt. And I knew that these are God's people. When the Bible says that we cried in Egypt to the Lord, and I understand it. When Wallow shed them tears, brother, those was tears that are for the Lord. When I shed tears, those were tears that are for the Lord. That is I can't even explain the feeling. It wasn't even really a feeling. It's just, it's like a soul cry. You understand? You better see that and know that you're living in Egypt. You watch you see these stories of these brothers and sisters coming across this border. They walking 5,000 miles from Guatemala and from Honduras and from Costa Rica. Brother, you better know that you are living in Egypt. You understand? Mark 13:33. Take ye heed, watch, and pray. You better be praying. Praying for what? Praying for strength. Praying for wisdom. Praying for longevity. Praying for endurance, man. Coming into the truth. I thank the Lord that they were very clear to us that this is not an easy path, and nobody is telling you that it's going to be easy. I'm so thankful that when I came into the truth, they let us know that, brother, this life is not for the weak. You got to be strong to make it in this truth. You got to have some goddamn balls and some integrity and some honor. I remember General Hazayan loves the word gumption. He's like, man, back old school, they say you got to have gumption. You understand? I ain't old enough yet to use the word gumption, but you got to have gumption to be in the truth. You understand? And where do you get that from? You get it from praying. I tell y'all straight up, I would not be in the truth today if it wasn't for praying. If it wasn't for being able to know that, man, I give it to the Most High. It ain't in my control. It ain't in my power. Ain't nothing I can do. That's the Lord's business. A lot of what you're going to endure in life, man, that's the Lord's business. Hey, it's out of my hands. Some brothers, you may lose a wife. You may lose a child. People who you loved and cared for in the world will turn their back on you, and they'll be colder than ice. That's the Lord. Family, your mother, your father, your brothers, your cousins, your best friend, your A1, turn their back on you when you come into the truth. You got to pray, man, and give that pain, give it to the Lord. Give those emotions, that feeling that sick feeling you have, you got to give it to the Lord. The days when you feel like you don't want to do anything, but you know that you got to do everything. You got to pray, man, and give that to the Lord. Everybody understands. Keep reading. Verse 34. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for you know not when the master of the house comes, at even, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. So you want to know how you begin to prepare for the kingdom of heaven? You got to be watching. You got to be ready for him to return. Preparing for the kingdom of heaven is not like, okay, preparing for the kingdom of heaven should not be, you shouldn't be like someone who's just hears in the news forecast that there's a hurricane. Like the people who are really prepared for the storm are the people who stay stocked up on their groceries anyway. People who have a first aid kit already and batteries for a flashlight and a backup generator. Like the people who are in the store on the day before the storm trying to get goods, those are the people who are not prepared. Like there's certain people who hear there's a storm coming and then they got to go get ready. Then there's other people who know storms are inevitable. So I'm going to make sure we stay stocked up because the storm got to come sooner or later. Christ gave us the wisdom we needed to be ready for the kingdom of heaven, not to have to get ready for it. And because of his warning to us concerning how to prepare, that's why we are in the truth today. There's some brothers and sisters out there who don't know the times that we're living in. They see that something is wrong with this world. Something ain't right with the way that society is progressing, man. Everything is getting more colder. People are getting more divided. People are less sociable. We all on our devices and in our cell phones. We ain't really talking to each other anymore or looking out for one another. The community isn't really together. And there's signs of it all throughout this society, man. The Lord is showing us every day with what's going on in our community just how divided and separated we are. I watched the other day Ed Reed, who was a football Hall of Famer. Over the summer, over the summer and this, recently after the fall, after the football season ended, it was announced that Ed Reed would be hired as the head coach of Bethune-Cookman University, which is a historically black college located down there in Florida. I believe it's in Jacksonville to be precise. In Daytona, Daytona, I believe, is where Bethune-Cookman is. Ed Reed got hired to be the head coach there. And it was big news because Ed Reed being a Hall of Famer in the NFL, it's like, man, he's going to be able to turn the program around, do the same thing Deion Sanders did for Jackson State. And Ed Reed the other day went live ranting about how trifling and uncared for the university was. I mean, it's supposed to be a historically black college with black people looking out for black students and black teachers and black everything. And this brother on his first day on the job went to the school and they didn't even clean his office. How you hire somebody to do a job and have them an office, and when they come in for their first day of work, they got to clean their office? You ain't had the decency to hire some maids or hire some cleaning service to come clean this thing out? Then not only did they have to suffer the indignity of not having his office prepared, he went out to the facilities, went out on the field where the kids supposed to be practicing and working out. It's trash all over the field. Trash and dirt and debris and old equipment, stuff that can't be used. Damn, who's responsible for cleaning the school? And in him putting out that message, he was crying out for help. And instead of him receiving help, the university fired him and said, we're not going to continue with having him be the coach. We're going to start our search over again. We're going to find somebody else. In essence, saying, we don't want anybody that's going to bring attention to the dilapidated conditions of this university. We want somebody who's going to put their head down, shut their goddamn mouth, and get a check. But damn, we're supposed to be loving and caring about one another. This black university is supposed to be for black students, to better them and prepare them for the world and give them a pride in being who they are. But yet and still, the faculty, the administration of this university, who's getting a lot of money, You can't even clean the offices. You can't even clean the field for the students. Goddamn, where's your pride? Where's your honor? Where's your integrity for these people? And for that brother to have come out and say something about it, that's a sign to show you how divided we are. There's some people who really care about black people, really care about black students, and care about being proud and having honor and integrity. And there's other people who just don't give a that. Rather than having to care and having to have honor and integrity, they'll just say, "Oh man, that nigga too much trouble. He gonna blow the whistle on everything. We can't have him embarrassing us, man. Get rid of that nigga." Damn. Brothers like Ed Reed, man, they should find the truth. They should learn about the UPK and learn about the place where there's brotherhood and sisterhood and righteousness for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The place where we have honor and integrity and love and care for one another. You understand? Because that is what is needed in order for us to have a place where we can go and learn and be, separated from our oppressor. Those are the signs that we should be looking for to see that the Lord is trying to gather us together. You understand? Let's move on. We're going to Matthew chapter 25. We're going to start at verse 1. This one's going to be a lot longer. But these, again, are parables that Christ delivered concerning being prepared for the kingdom of God. Bear with me for 1 second. Take a swig while we get Matthew chapter 25, verse 1. All right, Matthew 25 and 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. So he's saying the kingdom of heaven. Y'all want to know about the kingdom of heaven? You want to know about this rulership, this empire that's going to be coming for the children of Israel? You want to know when God is going to visit the earth and God is going to be, righteousness is going to reign? Well, I'll tell you what it's like. That day is like 10 virgins who gather to prepare for marriage to one man. Verse 2, and 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. 5 of these women, they were wise. They knew what they were prepared for this marriage. 5 of the women, they was fools. They didn't really understand what this preparing for the bridegroom was really all about. Verse 3, they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. Meaning they just came with what they had. They didn't prepare. They weren't prepared to endure for the long haul. All they had was their lamp. They didn't have no oil with them. Verse 4, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. The wise not only had the candle, but they also had oil to refill the lamp in case it went out. Verse 5, while the bridegroom tarried, meaning it took some time for him to arrive. It wasn't quick. It wasn't immediately. It wasn't right when they received word that they were invited, that they were to prepare for this marriage, but it took some time. They all slumbered and slept. While he was on his way arriving, those women, they went and they slept. They got them some rest. Verse 6, and at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. All at once they were all notified. He's here, y'all. Get ready and go out to meet him. Verse 7, then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. They didn't have any more oil to light that lamp. So imagine, this is the image that it's presenting for you, right? The place where these women are waiting for the bridegroom, they need the light for him to see them, to light the way for him to see them. Imagine a wedding night, right? But in Israelite culture, the wedding didn't take place during the day where you walk down the aisle and you say some words. In Israelite culture, the wedding took place in the bedroom. The wedding took place when the man takes a woman and they become one. That's sex. So these women preparing and waiting for the bridegroom, they have their lamps because he's coming to them at night. He's coming to get them and take them in that room and put it down. Do the nasty, the whoop-de-whoop, they'll get the wop, blow it back out, have whatever way you like to phrase it. That's what they are waiting for. That's why they need their lamps, because it's at night, because he's coming to do the night thing. You understand? Was 5 of these women, when they had to awake and rise out of the bed, they did not have any oil to light their lamp. While they were asleep, their candle had gone out. The smart women, knowing he coming at night, guess what? They had oil for their lamp. So when they woke up in the dark, they was able to light their lamp. And what did it mean that they lit their lamp? When the bridegroom came, he was able to see. Oh yeah, you come on. Yeah, you wait. Come on, baby. The ones with the candles, he can invite them into the bedchamber. The ones without the candles, they just standing there in the dark, looking goofy as hell. But he don't even know how they looking because they in the dark. You can't get invited in. You can't get chose without your light showing because can't nobody see that you even out there. And God forbid I got to choose in the dark. I need to see their face. What are you looking like? Turn these lights on in this club. That's what they needed the oil in their lamp for. All right. Verse 8. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. Oh, no, you can't get none of my oil. Might not be enough. I can't lose out on my light because you need some. You better go to them that sell and go buy for yourselves. You got to go get your own oil. Verse 10, and while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. What does it mean to watch? The context that Christ is saying watching here is stay prepared, stay ready. Now again, we're talking about a kingdom that will be physical on the earth, but you only gain access to it by living a spiritual life, by being righteous. So what is the oil that we are supposed to have today in order to be able to be invited into the bedchamber when the bridegroom returns? What should we be lining up waiting for this kingdom with? What do we need to be prepared? What is the oil? The oil is like your endurance. It's your preparedness for that day. And what do you need to be prepared for the day that the kingdom comes? Your righteousness. It's your actions, the things that you're doing, how you're living. Are you righteous? Are you doing what God said to do? Are you obeying him? Are you fighting your flesh and conquering the things that are trying to break you and to hold you back and to cause you to sin? That oil in your lamp is the righteousness that you are standing on before the Lord. And if any of you have been in the truth for any amount of time, you may have experienced the heightened levels of attacks that you go under the longer that you stand with the Lord. The further you walk into the truth, the more I don't want to say extreme. That's the word I'm looking for. The longer you're in the truth, the more you realize how difficult it was for them broads to keep that oil in their lamps. Like when you first come, all of us, when we first come into the truth, we come in here because, man, my life is almost over. My life's going to end if I don't come in here. Man, God going to kill me, man. We all come in here on the brink of some calamity. Having gone through some trauma or some tragedy, lost a best friend, just got out of prison, You know what I'm saying? No job, nothing to eat, coming to school because you need the resources that the school provides. All of us coming to the school from a bad place in our lives. And when you first come into school, it's such a refreshing thing because you're like, man, finally I can breathe, man. Oh man, I made it, man. My life is starting to come together. But then after a while, you in the truth, man, your life comes together. And all your problems, for the most part, they get solved. And hell, you get you a wife, maybe two wives, and things is looking up. You get you a job, that job paying good. You're more disciplined and dignified in your life, and you're living the right way. You're buying a vehicle, and you get an apartment. You're paying bills, and you and a woman living together for more than 6 months without the cops getting called. All types of things begin to happen in your life that are like, hey man, I could do this life thing, man. This is beautiful. This is a wonderful life. I ain't never lived, and I never thought I could live this way and be so happy and satisfied. But then, as you're feeling that, there's still responsibilities and duties that you have. There's still orders you got to follow. There's still, missions that need to be accomplished. There's still, tough decisions that you got to make concerning being apart from your family and not being able to be there for your kids for different occasions and different things that's going on. And after a while, man, you start to just get relaxed. Start to kind of just be like, man, hey, man, shit good. And you can forget where it is that you were initially, where you came from, and fall back into some of the things that you were doing before. Fall back into some of the comforts that you had before the truth became the thing that delivered you. Salaki, y'all, me. Damn camera went out. And that is the women who did not have the oil in their lamps. They were excited when they first heard about the bridegroom first was invited to the wedding. But man, it took so long for him to arrive. Everybody got tired, man. Everybody got weary. They got worn down. They there was a test of their endurance. And a lot of them just couldn't stay awake. That is your life in the truth, man. You come into the truth, you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But the longer you're in the truth, man, the more weight that is on you to maintain, to endure, to keep pushing, to not give up. And around every corner, there's an excuse. Around every corner, there's a reason. Around every corner, there's a new set of circumstances that will try and tempt you to no longer stand on the truth. But those who are wise, they maintain their righteousness. They hold their posts. They stay in the school and they go to camp. And they go to different cities and build up camps, and they go to all of the events, and they do all the things that's required. They file all their reports on time. They in the council ready to tell on all the works that they did. They continue pushing the truth, pushing the work of the Lord, because that is what they made to do. But along that path, there's others who get comfortable and say, man, you know what, I got other things I need to take care of, man. And his truth was wonderful. It helped me out. But, I got other things that I'm trying to pursue, man. These other things, I'm not going to be able to make it this weekend, man. I got this other stuff I got to take care of. Brother, that's your oil leaving your lamp. Yeah, nah, man. I wish I could be there, man. But, I got this other thing I got to do. That is your oil leaving your lamp. But those who are wise, they keep their oil in their lamp. They keep showing up. Keep doing what they've been doing. They keep pounding the pavement and checking in and showing up and being ready to do whatever it takes, being answering every phone call and completing every order. That's keeping the oil in your lamp. Fighting every addiction, fighting every problem and issue, calling for counsel for all the small things that could shake them. That's keeping the oil in your lamp. Everybody understands. But those that don't keep the oil in their lamp, what's going to happen when the trumpet get blown? What's going to happen when it's clear that the kingdom of heaven is at hand? Then you're going to be running trying to catch it then. And you're going to be running trying to clean yourself up and get your act together. And, man, I got to get it right, man. Christ here, man. He coming, man. I got to, now you're praying. Now you're on your knees asking the Father to help and to remember you. Man, it's too late now. It's too late now. While you're going out and you're trying to gain favor with the Lord in that day, those who have already had his favor, they're going to be getting on them chariots. They're going to be delivered out of this hell while you're going to have to know that, damn, I fumbled that bag. Everybody understands. I'm reading on in Matthew 25. Matthew 25, verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. You understand? The kingdom of heaven is like this, like a man who went to go away for a long time. And because he was going away for a long time, he gave what he had to his servants. That's this truth. Why aren't we receiving the truth today? Why do these classes exist? Why do these camps go out? Why is there such a push by the UPK to be known across the world and for everybody to know the name of Commander General Yohana? You want to know why we always shouting out Commander General Yohana? Because the earth needs to know his name. The earth, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians across the planet need to know that there's a black man who the Lord has risen up and who has shown a dedication and a loyalty to the Lord's word, his you know what I'm saying, the word and the truth that was delivered to him, and he toiled and endured to make sure that it was available for all of us to receive in this day. All brothers and sisters should know about this amazing brother named Commander General Yohana. Not for the sake of Commander General Yohana, but for the sake of Commander General Yohana teaching us how to follow Christ the right way. And every brother and sister who comes into this truth, when you learn how beautiful it is and when you learn how amazing we can be as a people, it makes you want to say, I wish other people knew about this. Like pushing Commander General Yohana is pushing the truth. It is pushing the Most High in Christ. Because most people, they don't want to they don't want to hear about Jesus, hear about God. They want something that they can tangibly see and understand. Not everybody got the faith that some of us have. Not everybody knows God the way we know God. Some people don't want to answer. I hear about God in the sky, but what's happening? Who's here on the earth? Who can help me on the earth right now? Commander General Yohana. That's why we push that name. Not to worship Commander General Yohana or anybody should bow down to Commander General Yohana, but this is a brother who has set the example for all of us. This is a brother who learned the things that he's teaching us, and he did it perfectly. He never failed, never quit. He kept the oil in his lamp. Man, y'all should know about this cat. This Commander General Yohana brother is amazing. You should meet him, man. You should watch his class, watch his show on Monday nights. You should come to the events and meet him, man. You should dap him up, have a conversation with him. He's an amazing brother. All the brothers whose lives he's changed. All of our lives have changed because of this brother, Commander General Yohana. You should meet him. Everybody should know his name. And it's an honorable thing because knowing him means you know a man who has done the thing that you wish you could do in life, which is to give it to the Lord, man, and stand on it. You understand? This parable that Christ is giving us is the reality of the world we live in today. Christ left and went for a long time, but he gave the words the Lord gave to him to his disciples. He passed on his wisdom and his knowledge and his understanding to them, and they recorded it in the Bible. The same way Ezekiel did and Isaiah and Daniel and Jeremiah. Why? The words of Christ were not for the time he lived in. The words of Christ were important for the time that we are in now. That is why he had them recorded and write it down. Not for them to read at his time. They killed Christ. He was dead. Nobody listened to him but his disciples. But they preserved his words for later generations to go back and read and say, damn, we should have listened to that cat. Man, y'all should have paid attention to Yahushua, man. What he was saying was super heavy. Now we in today's times, the time that it was meant for, and rereading these words, and this is the example of what, this is a parable of what his legacy has been for our people. I'm going to start over from the top. Matthew 25 and 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country. That's our King Yahushua. Who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods, his disciples. He gave them his word. Gave them the example that he set for standing with the Lord and for dying in his righteousness. Verse 15. And unto one he gave 5 talents. That's Peter. When he delivered, he said, man, all of my words you're gonna be the pillar that I build my church on. Brothers are gonna come in here, and because of men like you, they're gonna stand on what it is that I'm laying down. You that rock, the foundation I'm going to build on. And to another 2, and to another 1, and to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. So he gave them everything he had. And to every brother, they were given what it was that they had the ability to multiply. Some men in the truth, you get 5 talents, man. You got 5 abilities, 5 skills, 5 gifts that the Lord will give you to be able to teach and to prophesy and to wake brothers and sisters up. Not everybody got 5 talents. Some brothers' gift is doing what I'm doing now, teaching classes. That's their gift, man. They teach and break down the scriptures and make it clear and understandable for you, and that's their gift. And with that gift, they can multiply the kingdom of heaven. They can multiply brothers and sisters coming into the truth. Then there's other brothers that may not be able to teach that good, but guess what? Man, this is a fierce brother, man. He's super strong and masculine and militant and powerful. Man, this brother's discipline and his focus and his physical prowess will draw brothers into the truth. Man, who this cat? Man, I want to be like him, man. He's big and strong and powerful, man. I want people to be afraid of me when I walk in the room. Well, guess what? That's that brother's gift. And with that gift of being intimidating and towering and having the discipline to work out every day and go to the gym and eat the right things and to work out and run and get on the treadmill and jog, not every brother got that gift. I for sure don't get it. The Lord made me 5'6" and I'm plus 300, but I don't get it twisted. You can't see me with the hands, but yeah, I ain't even got to see you with the hands because I got a nigga that's about 6'7", 245 that bench press 500 right here. And guess what? We both serve the Lord and obey the Most High and do what He said to do. You understand? So guess what? You got your hands full. But I can't be 6'7". I can't be 6'2", 250 chiseled. You know what I'm saying? With the muscles up. It's some muscle that some brothers get to be up here. It's something. You can even see it through their shirt. Some shit that make like they got a back on their back. I ain't got that. But the brothers that do got it, that's a gift. And they can multiply the truth with that gift. They see me, and they say, who the hell this nigga think he is? Then they see the 6'2", 6'7", 6'3" cat behind me with them mean faces. I'm a smiley cat. You see me? Hey, what's up, man? What's going on with you? I'm happy. There's some cat that's in the background somewhere that's angry as hell. You don't know what he angry at. You just don't want it to be you. Guess what? That's a talent. That's a gift. You understand? And it's amazing. But that not every brother can do everything. Some brothers is 6'7", you know what I'm saying, with the muscles up here, and they can teach a hell of a class. Some brothers may not be able to teach a class, but they get out there on that street and they speak out, brother. You can hear them from 2 blocks away. You can hear them on the corner, and it's traffic. It's cars out there, and you hear him over all the sound of the traffic. It's some brothers in conversation. They talk, they might be, short with their words. Might not be a real talkative cat. Might not say a lot. But they get out there on that corner, man, and be blazing. You be like, damn, where that come from? Who is that? Where he get that from? I give you, man, and we all, we following the example of our king, we were super humble in this truth. But there's some brothers out there, man, that listen to these cats speak is amazing. I'll give you 2 brothers, Shalaya Allah in New York City. Man, super humble cat, man. You meet him, man, have a conversation with him, talk, chop it up. That brother seemed like, he's just very unassuming type of cat, just a real chill cat. Man, he get out there on that street, I don't know who that is. I don't know where that came from, but that is amazing. What Shalai Allah do on the corner speaking is absolutely amazing. Captain Natazak Nashar in Virginia. Man, you meet a man, cool cat. Love him some downside. He remind me of me a little bit. We grew up north in D.C. in the Maryland area, but we loved us some good old Memphis, New Orleans, Atlanta, punch a nigga in the head music. You feel what I'm saying? Real unassuming cat. Get out there on that corner. Natazak Nashar is blazing a speaking like you ain't never heard in your life. Man, that's amazing. What this cat breaking down? Captain Kahan, I remember in the truth, man. Me and Kahan, we was both back there in D.C. Young cat. Kahan a real quiet, humble, just chill cat. Man, Kahan get out there on that speaking and be coming with metaphors and sayings and similes. He doing poetry on the corner, and it's just amazing. That's the gift. That's the talent that Christ is talking about here. Every man was giving a different amount of skill, a different amount of ability to further the truth. And for every brother, whatever he was given, he was expected to use it to multiply the truth. Use the gift the Lord gave you to get more brothers and sisters like you were gotten to come in here and serve the Lord. Let's keep reading. Verse 16. Then, this is Matthew 25 and 16. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same and made them other 5 talents. He went and he risked that ability. This trading isn't just, I give you 5 and 5. This is hustling. That's what the Bible talking about. Christ is talking about hustling. These men that were given these gifts, they went and hustled with these gifts. The nigga that was given 5, he went and hustled. Man, he turned that 5 into 10. How did he turn that 5 into 10? Because he had the skills, the abilities. He could get out there and hustle. Not everybody can hustle on the same level. Listen, some cats are only going to ever make $17 an hour. That's just the reality. They're going to find a slavery, some little job that don't mean nothing, don't do nothing, but that's all they want out of it. That's all they need out of life. Man, just let me show up, do my little 8 hours and go home. If I got enough money to pay my rent, get my little bills and give me a little drink, I'm good to go. I ain't got to get no red bottoms or driving no nice car. Nigga, give me something to get me from point A to point B. Give me a nice woman that's warm in my bed and cook some food and, walk in front of the TV every once in a while, give a little smack, and then we, have fun. Just give me that. That's all I need. And he's cool with that forever. $17 an hour, $12 an hour, hell. Just give me a little something. Let me show up. Now I have to think about nothing I'm doing. Whistle and sweep this floor, and then I get to go home. He's going to always get that $12 an hour for the rest of his life. And that's beautiful for him. Then there's other brothers who, I need a little bit more than that. Yeah, I can see the pay just enough to pay the bill. But, I like to get dressed up. I like to go to the show every once in a while. I want to go to the comedy show. Might want to go to the bar. Might want to go to the club. Might want to, do my thing. So I need a little bit more money because I got extracurriculars I like to do. So that $12 an hour ain't going to be enough for him. He got to go get the resume written up. Listen. There's a thing called ChatGPT right now. ChatGPT is a free software now. It's a software online. You can go download for free, and it'll write anything up for you that you tell it to. You say, you get the thing, you put it on your computer, and you say, write me a business proposal for a flower shop. And in 2 minutes, it's going to give you a whole business proposal for a flower shop. You say, give me the future projections from 3 years from now for what the flower shop can earn. It'll generate projections for the flower shop. It'll give you a whole entire business plan mapped out, and you can go take it to a bank and get a loan for free. ChatGPT, go look it up. Let's say you like to write books. You want to get into writing books, but you don't know how to write a book. You say, ChatGPT, write me the first chapter of a story of a man who started out in the inner cities, living in poverty, but rose up to be, a famous financial broker. And it'll give you the first chapter of a book. You give it certain parameters. This computer AI will create anything for you. That's some cat's gonna be all right with that $12 an hour job. Another cat gonna go on ChatGPT and find a way for this goddamn computer to write me a proposal for a business, and I'm gonna go to a bank and get a loan. 2 cats hear about the same thing. One cat say, ChatGPT, what the fuck is that? Go look it up and find out about it and find out how to use it. Another cat go, damn, they got software that'll write stuff for you? Man, that's crazy. And they changed the channel. The man that was given the 5 talents, he's the cat that's going to go to ChatGPT and get them to write him up 5 business plans. He going to go to the bank and get 5 business loans, and then he ain't going to go blow the money on no dumb shit. He going to go invest it, open up a business, and start getting this money. Then there's another cat that'll hear it and say, oh, man, yeah, they got some software that be writing stuff for folks. Yeah, man, I heard about it in class the other day. That's cool. The brother that had the 5 talents, he went and hustled that 5 talents, man. He turned that 5 into 10, brother. Another brother had 5. He turned that 5 into 25. Brother that had 2, he went and turned it to 4. One brother had 2, went and turned it to 8. You understand? To each man that was given the talents, they went and hustled and got what they could get. Let's keep reading. Matthew 25 and 17. And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained another 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. Now, what is that? What is hiding the goddamn money? What is hiding the gift that he was given? One man was given 5. He went and hustled, man. He doubled up. One man was given 10. He went and hustled with the little he had. He doubled up. One man who really wasn't expected to do that much. He wasn't given so much of a burden. He didn't do a goddamn thing. That nigga went and hid. He didn't put in no work. He didn't put in no effort. He didn't go try to help anybody. Damn. How dare you come into the truth and receive the knowledge of the Lord and understand what it is that the Most High wants from us and from our people, and then you just go and not tell nobody? You just go and not do nothing to help another brother or sister to wake up? Or for some reason, you find a reason to be angry or upset at the men who gave you the penny, who gave you the little bit you got, gave you that knowledge you received, and you just gonna stop other people from receiving it too? What kind of a horrible, evil bastard is you? Imagine receiving the truth and you just sit in your house with the truth and only teach it to your kids and only teach it to your family. And when you go out in public, you'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and you'll stand for the national anthem. And you'll say Merry Christmas at the work function when everybody's celebrating, and people will say Happy Holidays to you, and you'll say Happy Holidays to you too. And then you'll get inside your car and say, I hate these people in the world. They dishonor God. They hate God. But then you ain't warning nobody or standing on what it is that God said to do. They exist. Those are the administrators at Bethune-Cookman that wouldn't clean the fucking office for Ed Reed. God damn, how you say you love black people and care about black people? You hire a man. I'm sorry, I'm sidebar. But this Ed Reed situation got me vexed. They wanted Ed Reed to remain professional and not go online and tell everybody about how dirty the school was and how trifling the administrators were and how they didn't have his office clean, right? They wanted him he used curse words, F this and F that and shit, excuse my language. They wanted him to repent for using that language. They was mad at him. How dare you? You're supposed to be an example, a teacher, an educator, a coach, a leader, and you're going to use that bad language on the TV. You wanted me to remain professional. But where's the professionalism that I was supposed to be shown by my fucking office being clean? Excuse my language. By the facility being bearable for the children. I seen pictures that have been posted online in the past few days of Bethune-Cookman. In the student housing, there's mold all inside the rooms. Mold behind the pictures, painting that's hanging up in the goddamn classroom. Mold that's on the windowsill. And I read the comments and people was like, yeah, it was like that in my HBCU too. Yeah, when I went to a black school, we had all kind of problems. And I'm like, damn, but we supposed to love black people and care about black people and invest in black. Man, you black niggas ain't shit. Excuse my language. These niggas in these administrative positions, these ones who in the leadership spot, these people who have been given talents that they supposed to multiply, them niggas is hiding it under the ground. Because it ain't seeing its way to none of the kids. It ain't seeing its way to none of the facilities. It ain't seeing its way towards progressing and establishing a sense of pride and self-worth in our people. So when somebody like Ed Reed get mad and blast them about it on the goddamn internet, they deserve to be blasted on the internet. You gonna tell him he not professional? No, you not professional. Nowhere on in the earth, man. Man, listen. Only with black people do we do that to ourselves. And that is the problem within our community, is that we don't care enough about us. Sure, we know we have enemies. Sure, our enemies ain't shit. They hate us. They want everything bad for us. But what about what we don't want for ourselves? And that is what is inside of the minds and the hearts of a lot of black people. They look at black people like, them niggas don't deserve shit. It don't even matter. You ain't got to clean his office. Don't worry about it. He a nigga anyway. God damn, that's your brother. That's you when you refuse someone the truth. Nah, that nigga ain't shit. He wouldn't change. He wouldn't listen to none of this anyway. Damn, so you're not gonna go to camp. So you're not gonna raise up and want to go teach the truth. You're not gonna go out there on the street and speak because you don't think these niggas deserve it. You don't think these niggas are worth it, man. The Lord is not with that. Everybody understand? Read Matthew 25 and 19. After a long time, the Lord of the servants cometh and reckoneth with them, and so came Salakia. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou delivered unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. Verse 21, and his Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He was celebrated for what he had multiplied. Verse 23, his Lord, verse 22, he also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou delivered unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. 23, his Lord said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee, that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawn. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast, that is thine. Now, I never really understood the disrespect in this word, in this line of scripture, until my time in the truth. And the longer I've been in the truth, the more diabolically disrespectful I understand it to be. So let me break down what took place here in verse 23 and 24, and then I'll read the response from the master. All right, bear with me 1 second while I take a sip of my beverage. Salakia. All right, I'm gonna read it again. Matthew 25 and 24. Then came he which had received the 1 talent, came and said, Lord, I knew. All right, so first of all, the first 2 men who multiplied their talents, what did they do? They presented what they had done. They gave their report. Sir, you gave me 5. I added 5 more to it. Here you go. Sir, you gave me 2. I added 2 to it. Here you go. Let's look at the report of the third nigga. And then we understand how diabolically evil this was. Then came he which had received the 1 talent, came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art an hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown and gathering where thou hast not strawn. Nigga, who asked you that? Nigga, nobody asked you what you thought or who you knew, or nigga, nobody asked you for an explanation. You see, the slogan here in the school is no cowards, no excuses. Which means what? When it comes time for you to give a report, give your report. Don't tell me sir, what happened? What, nigga, I didn't ask you any of that. Listen, if you you a young officer or a trooper in the school, brother, don't ever do that in the report. Brother, if I give you an order and you don't do the order, and I call you to say, I call you and ask, man, what's the status on that order I gave you? If it ain't done, just say, Salaki, it's not done. Do not say, oh, sir, man, you know what happened? Brother, don't do that. Do not start a report with an excuse or an explanation. Never do that. Because no one gives a damn. Nobody cares. I don't care. The Lord does not care. There's no excuses. I don't want to hear no. I didn't understand this till I came in the truth. This cat started off his report with, well, listen, sir, here, see, you understand. I know you was I know you was an austere cat. I know you was hard, sir, and you take up what you don't put down, and you reap what you don't even sow. And so what had happened was, brother, nigga, don't do that. Don't do that. That's horrible. That's disrespectful. It's you know, it's beneath you. It's beneath me. It's beneath all of us for anybody to have to hear your explanation, to hear your excuse, to hear your what had happened. Might try and hear that shit. I don't care what happened. Huh? You didn't do it. Now, you know what would have been. You know what would have been more. You know what would have been better than your excuse. You calling and saying I can't do it. Call and say I can't do this. Salagi, sir, it's not gonna be this. I don't know if I can get this done. Okay, why? What's going on? Do that. Call and say I need counsel. I need help. I can't do what I was told to do just now. I need help doing it. Please do that. That is honorable. That will be applauded. That will be, hey man, this is an honorable cat, man. I gave him an order. He could not do it. He called and said, Salagi, sir, I can't get this done. I need help. Or if it's a better man to do it, please, sir, but I cannot do it. Brother Most High in Christ, listen, you can do it. Let me teach you. Let me show you. Let me give you the tools you need to get it done. There's nothing that's impossible for any man to do. But if you think it's too hard, brother, say something now. Don't wait till the day that you get called on to give a report and your answer is, Salaki, if I may, no, you cannot, no, you may not. What is the status of the report? Give me the report. This cat, after a long time, was called to give a report about the one talent he was given. And he started it out by, well, see, sir, I knew that you was a hard man, and you be taking up what you don't put down, and you be reaping what you don't even be sowing. And so, for that reason, I didn't get it done. That's not acceptable. And it's beneath the office of the man you're reporting to just give him an excuse. It's disrespectful. It's dishonorable. It's not masculine. It's weak. And that's what this brother did. Goddamn, how do you feel in a room of men who multiplied their time? They gave a good report. Your report is, I don't really have a report. Man, don't do that. Salaki. All right, read it over one more time. Matthew 25 and 24. Then he which had received the one talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawn. 25. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast thine, that is thine. Here, I gave him, man. Look, I couldn't do it. I was scared. I was afraid. So, I just brought back what you gave me. I ain't want to go out there hustling because, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you hustling, niggas might rob you or you might fumble the package or maybe the police will come. And I just didn't really want to get in no trouble because, I kind of like to try to live an easy, peaceful life. I ain't really as hard as all the rest of y'all. And I ain't really built for this like that. So I just really took what you gave me and I didn't do nothing with it. But here, you can have it back because, that's what I thought you might have wanted was to have it back. But I didn't really do nothing with it because, you know what I'm saying? You see all of these shut your mouth. Shut your mouth before I snatch the words out your mouth. Be quiet. Don't say nothing. Just say I didn't get it done. Everybody understands. Verse 26, Matthew 25 and 26. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Nigga, you knew me before I gave you the talent. You knew what kind of man I was. Why would you play with me? Why would you play with the gift that I gave you? This is Christ. The servant having returned. You didn't do nothing with the truth I gave you. I gave you what you needed to save your life and to deliver yourself and your family and your people, and you did nothing with it. God, what is it going to be like for IUIC or for GOCC or for TD Jakes Church or for Creflo? Like, brother, who we? Because all of them have some truth. They have some knowledge. They can break down some scriptures. If not any of that, they captivating. They're influential. They can make big, great, long speeches and get people to hear them and come listen to them, and they can sell some shit. And what if all the power and the energy that went into making money in Black America went into righteousness? God damn, could you imagine? Okay, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a seminar for righteousness. I'm going to turn a camp speaking into a seminar. And I'm going to travel the country making people pay $75 to come hear the keys of getting your life together in the kingdom of heaven. I'm going to do a whole goddamn infomercial for serving, the truth of God. See, but you can't do that. Maybe you can. But I'm saying, what if what the church did, it was done to make people righteous and serve the Lord? And instead of a bunch of singing and dancing and goofy ass church songs, we just was in there teaching the truth and breaking down the scriptures and giving people the tools and the game plan for serving the Lord. Man, Black people could be righteous again. We could have an empire on the earth. We could multiply the talents that have been given. But these niggas is hiding the talent of God and getting money. They putting away that truth, hiding that truth, so they can just get a little bit more members, get a little bit more money. A little bit more money. Man, it's going to be bad for them in that day. Because if you cannot read this Bible and not know the type of man that our king is. You think Christian preachers don't know the Bible? You think they don't read about a man coming and ruling with a rod of iron and subduing all the nations and waging war and judging the planet? They know what's going to take place. They just don't believe it's real. They believe what they can see. They ain't trying to be preached about no God in the sky, no man in the sky. This white man got money right now, right here. I'm going to go serve him. You want me to do what this book is about some people that's living in this, that they believe are living in the sky. But this man right here is in front of me with money, and he's giving it to good, wholesome church folk who speak the words he say to speak. So guess what? I'm going to speak them words. You understand? Like, they selling out. And that's what this brother did. And because he was wicked and slothful, meaning, goddamn, you take the church way out, you're avoiding all the hard work that we are doing. Listen, if I was a Christian preacher, I would be amazingly successful. I'm telling y'all this shit right now. I would be getting, all the church's money. And I'd be having sex with all them whores. All the church whores. I think the Lord saved my life bringing me in this truth. I would have been horrible. I would have been rich though, but horrible. But I thank the Lord that he wanted better for my life. But you know how much easier the church would be than the truth, nigga? This is the teaching the truth is the hardest thing to do because nobody wants to be preached to. Don't nobody want to be told how wrong they are and how they live in the wrong way and how God is not pleased with them. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit, my nigga. Excuse my language. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. You got to subtly get these people to understand the truth. Most people, you got to, bring it to them subtly. That's why Captain Tazariak doing in that clubhouse is amazing because not all of us have that gift of subtlety. Listen, I cannot listen to a nigga talk bullshit for an hour just to squeeze 5 minutes of knowledge on them and then not drop a scripture. I can't do it. I hear a nigga talking nonsense and making up shit, and it boils my blood the way I just got to jump in there and say, "Man, nigga, shut up, man. What you saying is full of shit, blah, blah, blah." Then they mute me. 30 seconds in a rant, and I'm muted on Clubhouse because I can't do it. Captain Tazariak can listen. He'll sit through 3 hours of a bunch of BS and then come in with 2 minutes of wisdom and drop it on him. And then disappear back into the night like Batman or something. I can't do that. I ain't skillful like that. I'm gonna crash through I'm like the Kool-Aid man. I'm crashing through the door. Somebody else was the Kool-Aid nigga. I'm drop the truth. Then I'm gonna go right back through that big ass hole I made in the wall. Captain Tazariak, he in the shadows watching down on Gotham. He see a nigga, trying to steal a purse. He swooped down, beat the hell out of the nigga with the robbing the purse. He tie him up on the lamp pole, leave him hanging upside down, spray paint Tazariak across the body, and then disappear back in the sky. I'm not skillful like that. You understand? Again, every brother got different talents. You know what I'm saying? But if you got that talent, brother, go do it. But pushing the truth, brother, okay. The simple thing to do is to get up and go to camp and teach. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that we're trained to do. The difficult thing is making sure it's recorded properly, making sure the sound is good, make sure the battery on the camera don't run out. Make sure you get home and you hook it up on the goddamn computer. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you get home, you plug the camera in the computer, you edit the film properly, you upload it to the YouTube, to what's name. Make sure your channel don't get flagged. Make sure the video don't get pulled down. Like and share the video. Tell people to like and share the video. Let all the brothers and sisters know, hey, like and share the video, and then you get a good video. And you see how much goes into pushing the truth? It ain't just, I wish pushing the truth was just, yeah, man, just go sit in front of the computer at class and teach a class. It ain't that easy, man. That ain't what this is. You understand? And forget raising up a camp. Brother, it's, you know what I'm saying? But that's the work that we called to do. And if you're a hustler, if you got some talent, you was given some talent, you was given some ability, then you better go do it. Ain't no excuses. You better get it done. You understand? So this brother did not get it done. And he was ridiculed and scolded and chastised for it. Keep reading in verse Matthew 25 and 27. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. You should have gave it back. You should have gave it to the bank. You should have put it somewhere where it could have grown. Meaning what? You could have gave it to somebody else to multiply. If you wasn't gonna multiply, nigga, give it to somebody else. Pass it to somebody else. Verse 28, take therefore the talent from him and give it unto him which have 10 talents. You understand? I mean, it's going to take the little bit you had that you didn't do nothing with, and it's going to be given to the man that got way more than you. Verse 29, for unto everyone that has shall be given, and he that shall have abundance, and he shall have abundance. But from him that has not shall be taken away even that which he has. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Everybody understands? Don't be the unprofitable servant. Stay prepared. Watch as well as pray. See the times and the writing on the wall and know that our kingdom is at hand, and now is the time, brothers and sisters, to be prepared. Don't be ready. Don't get ready. Stay ready. Everybody understands. With that, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. Since 1969, we've been teaching so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. In the year 2023, there's nothing more important than for God's chosen people to find out the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is here on the earth. You brothers and sisters that are in Memphis, Tennessee, we have a physical school. The address is 3000 Walnut Grove Road, Suite 215. Again, 3000 Walnut Grove Road, Suite 215. The call-in number for the school is 901-249-0085. Again, 901-249-0085. Call and get counsel, man. Any assistance, any issues, any problems you got, call the school, get the help that you need, and we're going to be there to give you what you need. With that, we're going to have class tomorrow. Again, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. You brothers and sisters, man, y'all like and share the classes. Let everybody know when we're going live. And with that, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Shalom.